Let me introduce this next fabulous speaker. It's Alec, who's Director of Education at Eventsair. Well, over to you, Alex. Good luck. You can use that.
Welcome, everybody. Alex Sonnenthal here, Director of Education for Eventsair. I've been in this business for over 35 years, and I have been with Eventsair for about 30 of those years. But I also consult and work with event planners all around the world. And we all know it's been a journey in the last few years. We are all doing live events, and then we went to virtual events. So this session is about the new hybrid event paradigm. This is what we're seeing, talking to hundreds of event planners in about 80 different countries. We're seeing some trends. We're seeing some new direction, and we want to share those in this very short, but hopefully informative presentation. So, what is the new hybrid event paradigm? This is a new way of thinking about the events we produce, okay? We're all event planners. We're all putting on events. We're all focused on live events. We all know what happened, but we're all doing live events again. But virtual attendance has become a factor in our business models that we haven't seen forever. Because, before COVID, we had live events. And then we had virtual events. Now we're back to live events, but this is a new normal for our industry. And we're seeing this in Australia, in Europe, in America, in South America. We're seeing this in all our markets, that there is a new normal for how we are managing live events. So it is an evolving landscape, right? And it's important for all of us in our industry to embrace new ways of monetizing our attendees, monetizing our events, so we can be profitable and even grow in a very uncertain time as we are now, okay? So for many years, it was live events, of course. Then COVID hit. And then during COVID, live events went away and we all became virtual event planners. Or we tried to put on virtual events under very different circumstances. And that was fine. But we all know that that was an aberration, and our industry is focused on live events, okay? So it was a necessity. We did it, we managed it, but we dealt with it. But we have returned to live events. And all I can say is thank the Lord, we are returning to live events. We're a live event here. Some say the numbers may be a little bit lower. We'll talk about that. But live events is our industry. That's the way we operate. Our ecosystems, our structures, our processes are all based around live events, right? And two forces, and we've read several studies and we've created several studies in the last year about how attendance is returning to live events, okay? Forces, there was when we started doing live events, we have seen a pent-up demand of people rushing back to live events, and that was expected and that was important. But we're seeing in the year 2 or year 3 after COVID, we have seen globally, okay, that there are some softening of the numbers. And we're seeing this in large conferences. We're seeing these in small conferences. We've seen this in all markets. We've seen them with the Comdexes or the CESs or any of the industry trade shows, and we're seeing them in meetings, that the numbers are softening because there are still issues, okay? There are still issues with travel, with COVID, with security, all these things, okay? So we had that bubble, we had a big rush back, but it is a bubble, and we've been seeing some softening of the numbers in the last year. So many event planners have discovered that there are new ways to monetize their events, to increase their event budgets, to grow their events in very uncertain times. And we've seen this play out in hundreds, many hundreds of events in Europe, America, Australia, Eastern Rim, Pacific Rim countries, where it's been a very successful model, okay? And this new business model is what I wanted to talk about briefly today, and that is the new hybrid event paradigm, okay? And our focus, as it should be, remains on live events. That's what we're all about, right? We're about face-to-face meetings, human-to-human connections. Virtual meetings failed, or not failed, but were not highly successful because we lacked that human connection, okay? But we have learned And we're seeing this play out every day, that event planners who are embracing a virtual attendee component to their live events are seeing some significant growth in their bottom line profitability. And this plays out in several different ways. So events can grow with the addition of virtual attendees. And we've also seen another trend that's actually very significant, and that is monetizing post-event content, because that plays into our virtual event platforms. The ability to actually collect admission fees and have additional people who may not have come to your event live who are now coming for your post-event content. And they're actually seeing some very successful growth to their budgets and their bottom lines because of this new way of thinking about events. Okay, so the new event paradigm, hybrid event paradigm, is really about live events where we're adding virtual components either during the event or post-event and monetizing that access. And we're really seeing some exciting trends in this area. So when you're adding virtual content to a live event, when we were doing virtual, it was easy. You use Zoom or you used a platform, you brought in your virtual attendees, you showed them to your virtual presenters, you brought in all your content and you streamed it out to your attendees. You may have had other things around it like exhibitions and networking and all that. But at the end of the day, virtual is very straightforward and easy to embrace, okay? But when you have a live event, you're now mixing live presenters and virtual presenters in the same event. And you're also having to do and figure out how to do live and virtual at the same time. And that's the rub. That's what we have been helping and seeing lots of platforms out there attempting to help our industry achieve that live and virtual component at the same event. And there's some things I want to talk about. Okay, so sharing content with live and virtual attendees, that's our goal. When you have a true hybrid event, even if your live event is 80% of your attendees or 90% of your attendees, you still have virtual attendees that you need to get the live content to, and you may have virtual presenters. This is a growing thing in our industry, and you need to get those virtual presenters to your live attendees, live and virtual together. Attendees, presenters, content, presentations, it all needs that you need to find a way of mixing it, and mixing it in a way that you can achieve your profitability as your event planner, okay? So you need to capture live presenters, you need to capture virtual presenters, and you need to put them all together and present it to all your attendees. So with a hybrid virtual technology and Eventsair, this company I work with, and I'm not pitching my software company today, offers this. There are many other platforms that offer variations of this. I try to be platform agnostic when I talk about this, because it's not really about selling our software. It's about giving you guys the knowledge and the tools to achieve a true hybrid event experience. So you have live event technology, which we all have. Every tool out there does live event technology. Easy. Virtual event technology, most of the tools out there do virtual events quite well. There are some that are virtual specific, okay? And then when you have your events, you have different ways of getting your content to your virtual attendees, okay? You can have an professional AV team collecting recording your presentation and using something called RTMP to stream it to whatever platform you're working with. And that is something that we've been doing since before COVID. RTMP is a real-time messaging protocol, is an internet-based solution for delivering content. It works, it's very straightforward to do, and every AV production house in the world knows how to work with it, okay? The challenges we face is not delivering content to our virtual attendees. It deals more with getting your virtual content on the same stage as your live attendees. So your live attendees are able to watch everything, live presentations, virtual presentations. And you also want your virtual attendees at the same time watching your virtual presenters and your live presenters at the same time. And that is where some of the technology we're going to talk about comes in. So one of the technologies we like to use is called PTZ cameras. You see one up there? There's one in our booth. There's a lot other booths have them as well. They're the cameras that pan, tilt, rotate, zoom in and out, okay? They're $500 to $2,000 on Amazon or any number of places. And the goal for you is to be able to purchase or rent one of those cameras or two of those cameras, and you can place those in your live presentations to capture your live presenters and stream it out to your virtual attendees. It's an inexpensive and professional solution. The quality of these cameras are excellent, and there are technologies out there that let you control and manage PTZ cameras to capture your live attendees, your live presentations, and present them and stream them to your virtual attendees. That's one of the secrets. That's one of the tools that you need to embrace if you're going to provide a hybrid presentation. Okay, now there's something important here I want to talk about, and that is this is one of the more challenging aspects. That's where you have the virtual presenters on the same stage as your live attendees, because you really cannot have a true hybrid event unless your virtual content is being able to come on stage with the live content and me, the live presenter, to be able to talk and interact and ask questions with the virtual presenter at the same time. And there are tools out there to do this. We call this remote projection. And that's where it's a simple way of taking your virtual presenters, your virtual attendees are already watching them, and you'll be able to project them onto a screen on the stage with your live presenter. Live and virtual, all together now, all at the same time. That is the secret sauce to a successful hybrid event. And there are tools. I'm not going to talk tools, but there are plenty of tools out there today, and you can go walk around and ask them about hybrid. How do you do hybrid? How do you do live? How do you do virtual? How do you bring them together? That's what you're going to want to focus on for a successful hybrid event. Because if you can put on a hybrid event, you can take your live event and grow it. And that's what we're talking about with the new hybrid event paradigm, that you can grow your events, you can grow your profitability, you can grow the numbers, because there are people out, we'll talk about that, but there are people out there who you may never have been able to bring into your virtual event, your live event, for health reasons, for economic reasons, for any number of reasons. They cannot travel across the country or travel internationally to get to your event. So when you can add a virtual component to your live event, you can monetize, you can charge a registration fee, you can grow your numbers. And we have seen time and time again in the last 18 months to 24 months, great profitability growth in our clients' events. And it's been very exciting to see. So this is an important goal to achieve. So I'm going to step back now and say, everything I've been showing you, there are tools that let you, the event planner, do this. And what's more important, you, the event planner, can do this without the need of an AV production company, because an AV production company, if you're going to do a 500-person event, you're not going to be able to afford the cost of an AV production house to make all this happen for you. So you want to be able to do it yourself. That's where you need to talk to technology. Talk to me afterwards. There are tools that allow you to do this for minimal cost. Under a few $1,000s, you can add hybrid components to your live meetings, grow your profitability. It's a very exciting trend. But this slide here is a very important slide. If you're going to have a 5,000-person event with a big keynote session, and you're going to have lots of production value, you will have budget for an AV production house. And there are lots of those folks out there today. I work with AV production teams every day. They are valuable, they're professional, and they do great work for your events. The challenge of AV production houses is the cost. They can manage everything, and they can deliver a beautiful hybrid event for you, but you may not have the $40,000, $50,000, or $60,000 for your smaller events to be able to deliver that. So you want to be able to try to deliver it yourself, and there are tools, including the company I work for, that allow you to do that for minimal cost, and that is really important. But if you're going to have a larger event, you can work with an AV production house, and they do great work. And more importantly, you can actually work with both at the same time. If you have the technology to allow you to capture live and virtual content and deliver it to live and virtual attendees, you can work up an AV production house for your opening and closing sessions, and you can use your own team to deliver the hybrid content for the smaller breakout sessions. So you have some great tools to be able to save costs, grow your profitability, and deliver hybrid content yourself, okay? So AV production teams have their place, and they do great work. They just may not fit in your budget for a 500-person, 1,000-person event. They tend to be smaller meetings, and the production costs tend to be high with AV production teams. You can mix and match. So, in closing, I know this has been a short presentation, but in closing, hybrid events is becoming a monetarily driven force in our industry. We are seeing over and over again the ability of our clients to grow their events, to add new attendance, not just lost attendance, lost to COVID, but new attendees to be able to come to your event and participate, add to your income stream. And then we're also seeing people who are able to take all their virtual content, all their live content that's been recorded, and package it in a virtual portal that people then can come to. Even if they had never signed up for your event, they can sign up for your post-event content. You can charge them a small fee, $100, $50, and they can come in and watch and view and participate in not only the educational content, but the exhibitor content, the videos, the brochures, the speaker content. All that type of stuff can come out and be accessible post-event. So it is options to do it yourself that is changing the industry. And every one of our large vendors, small vendors understand this and are finding ways to give you the tools to deliver hybrid meetings, hybrid content, without having to bring in outside expensive production teams to make it happen. And that is the hybrid event paradigm. So that's really all I wanted to say. I know it's only been 10 or 20 minutes. Is there any questions from anybody? I'm happy to answer questions. If anyone doesn't have questions, I'm happy to conclude this presentation and say thank you very much. All righty, thank you.